Hello everyone, Glenda Mollet here, and I'm in my craft room with you today, and I'm going to show you how to create this thank you card, excuse me, using the Plentiful Plants bundle. Sorry, I was not paying attention to the time and it totally got away from me, and I kind of dropped the ball on this one. So I just do a little bit more setup here. My lights turned on. Okay, we're ready. So the bundle consists of the Plentiful Plants Stamp Set and the Perfect Plants dies. And when you buy them together, you save 10% on the as a bundled price. So I'll put the links to view this online in the description of my video as soon as we're done the class. Okay, so let's get going. I'm going to be using, the ink I'm going to use is Cinnamon, Cider, Garden Green, and Memento. And then I have the stamp set and the bundle, of course, and Genial Gems, which are right here. There we go. I'm going to use some of the beautiful Genial Gems on it. And I have my computer. Oh, good morning, Carmen. Thanks for reminding me. Holy macaroni. Talk about, I was doing my favorite task of all time, which is math. I was costing a project out that I am working on with my friend Wendy, and I completely lost track of time. So bear with me. I'm just getting my stamps onto blocks, and I remembered my machine. Okay, so the recipe for this, I'm using an evening evergreen card base that's 8.5 by 5.5, and all my measurements are in inches. I have a piece for the inside that's 5.25 by 4. Now this card I've made a few times because I use them as thank you cards for my subscription people. So I ran out of that designer paper, so we're going to switch it up a bit. I have a piece of designer paper that is 5 by 3.75. So that's going to go on the front. And then I have 2 little strips of basic white that are 3.25 by 1/2. And they're going to go at the top and the bottom so that it makes it look like you've got a full piece underneath there, but you really only have 2 little short pieces. I have a piece of vellum that's 3 by 4, and that's what I'm going to stamp the sentiment on. A piece of white that is 2 by 4 to stamp all the pieces, and then a piece of basic black that is about 1.25 by 1.25-ish to do the pot on. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, oh God, no, you couldn't find it, Carmen, because I was not on the ball. But the good news is I had the package ready. All I had to do was set it up, do my setup and stuff. So thanks for reminding me. I do appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to stamp the sentiment in Memento. Now it's on vellum, so if you don't want to spend the time to let it sit for a while, because it takes a while for Memento ink to dry on vellum, and you have to be really careful that you don't smudge it because it does move really easily. But if you don't want to wait for it to dry, use StazOn because it dries a lot faster. You can always use your heat gun as well to speed up the drying process, but just a little warning that if you heat vellum, it tends to not stay as flat as you may like it on your card. So I've done that. I'm just going to set that off to the side now and let it dry a bit. Oh, I was going to say hello to you this morning and I completely forgot. So, hi, thanks for joining me in my craft room this morning. I have winter clothes on because my house is really cold, but it's going to be gorgeous out there today. So, back to the important parts. Okay, so I'm going to take garden green, and there's a lot of different there's a lot of different plants in this stamp set. And I really like this double one, but you can also layer them, like stamp these, cut them out and layer them. So I might just do that if I have enough room on my paper, because I have another block. So we can change this one up a bit if I have the room, which I probably will because I'm only stamping one of these. Okay, so I've inked it up really good and I'm just stamping it. And I hold it down firmly and rub my finger over it. With photopolymer, you need to let the ink have a chance to get off of the stamps and onto your paper. And when you're stamping with this as well, you should have a foam mat of some kind underneath it. Now, I have a foam pad underneath my grid paper, so I don't have to worry about having another foam mat. But hang on. If you don't have a foam mat, we sell these pierce mats in our catalog, and I just have a piece of scrap paper over the top so I don't stamp on them. And then you can, if you stamp on there, then you get the foam like you need it. Okay, so let me just make sure that that's the only bit I needed. Yep, everything else is layered. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp another one of these, and we'll do something different on the front. Now these all have dies, so it's not like I have to do any fussy cutting, but you can fussy cut because these ones are really easy to fussy cut. You might see the difference between the two. This one got a little bit darker being on this the full mat. It could be just because this one's had a chance to dry too. Oh, you know what? I was supposed to do the pot. I forgot the pot. Hang on. I just have to grab a scrap because I forgot that I had to stamp that pot too. Okay, apparently I'm still not running on all cylinders here, but that's okay. And I'll stamp the pot in cinnamon cider. Do the same thing. There we go. Right, so now I'm going to stamp the inside, maybe if I find it, and the envelope. Okay, card is portrait landscape or portrait orientation, so I'm just going to set that on here in portrait mode, and I'm going to stamp the pot first. And then we'll get the envelope, make sure it's the right way up, and stamp the pot on the envelope as well. I'm also going to show you a neat trick with Wink of Stella on how to make these look not quite so grainy. All right, bring back the garden green. And I think if I remember correctly, yeah, I stamped the double one, and I like that because I'm cutting these out. I can't really layer them without making a mask, and I did not make one, so I'll just have to put up with what I have. Because if I stamped the other one on top of that, it's going to look really weird having the leaves show through the other side or show through the other leaves. We'll just go with it. Okay, there we go. And now these are really easy to line up right on the top of the pot because they are photopolymer. So it gives you a really good chance to get those lined up. Let me just, there we go. get them lined up really good. Back to, I just recently found out that I can do that, where I can lift something up, touch my phone and focus on it, then put it away, and then I have to touch it again so that it focuses far away. So exciting. I know it doesn't take much these days to excite me. All right, I'm going to get my platform, and I was doing my Facebook Live last night, and I decided to treat myself to some new plates. I love new plates, and that first cut's always the hardest to do. Okay, now I don't have any post-it note pieces here, so let me get one. Okay, I can't find them. Where are they? Huh. That's bizarre. Oh well. I did go out and buy some new post-it notes because they have the ones now that are sticky all the way around, except for this 1/8 of an inch piece right there where you can lift them off from each other. So let me just do there. We'll go back to this, make sure I've got it all lined up properly here. And the other die. And get that lined. And finally the pot. Now I do have to die cut the stand in black. Just hold that on so it doesn't move between here and my machine. And I'll just run this through. Oh. All right, there's all of our pieces. Get the pot and the two leaves and my brush to persuade that to come out. I don't know what I did before I had my take your pick tool. It comes in really handy for getting all those bitty pieces out. All right, so now we have all of our pieces and we can go ahead and assemble. So let's put, first of all, here's my silicone mat to get this going. There we go. And we'll put this on the inside, seeing as it was sitting on top of the pile. And my card base. Make sure it goes the right way up. I love this stamp set, and I wasn't going to get it when I first thought, because I thought, not my style. But you know, the more I use it, the more I like it. Okay, so now, in order to get this so that it fits on here, I put the strips on first. So I'm going to use my grid paper to line it up in the center here. And once I get it off my finger, it's going to go right about, oops, that's not where. Love this Stampin' Seal for just that reason. There. Okay, we'll turn it over and do the other side, do the other one. kind of do the same thing. Center that, and then I count over to the center of that grid, and it goes to the center of that one. There we are. Ooh, and I almost got them straight too. Yay! Then this goes on top. So this paper, you can cut out, can die cut all these flowers and stuff from the one side. There's flowers, there's plants and there's pots and there's all sorts of stuff to use. You don't need to do a lot of stamping if you just want to make a quick card. Okay, so now let's put plants together. I'm just going to put some adhesive on there so I can. Oh, I was going to show you a trick with Wink of Stella. Hang on. Get my Wink of Stella. Love my Wink of Stella. If you use, I like to get that little ball in there loose before I start. If you use Wink of Stella and just go over top like this, it kind of smooths some of those blotches out. I like the blotches because I love the texture, but I want Wink of Stella on them because my philosophy is the card is not finished until you put Wink of Stella on it, which is weird and obsessive, but it's okay. They're my cards, so I can. It's just a little difficult doing that stripey one. You got to take your time, but the result is gorgeous. See that? And that one did come a lot darker using that that matte rather than just the one I have underneath my stamping area. And just quickly doing all the leaves. Can you see how they're getting smoothed out with the Wink of Stella? It kind of reactivates the ink a bit and provides it with some background for the darker lined parts. Yeah, these stripes are time consuming and fussy, but that's okay. Okay, so now I got to do the stems. And one more leaf to do. There we go. So I recently participated in a swap, and I laughed when I got one of the cards. The demonstrator had spent all of her time die cutting these images out, and then she put all the die cuts on upside down. Now, they weren't stamped images, they were just die cut flower pieces, and it was really bizarre. But that's okay. All right, so now, because I don't want to have to drag the adhesive over these petals and possibly dislodge them, then I'm just going to put some Tombow on there and put that aside so that it dries a bit. All right, so now the adhesive is going to go underneath where my pot is. So that's approximately where the pot is going to sit. Maybe I'll just put it on because I forgot that I have to do the adhesive underneath where the pot is sitting. So I'm just going to put this down right there. Make sure it's kind of straightish. Oh, shoot. That's not going to work because I forgot to put the forgot to put the cage on it. So I have to, there, I'll go right there. We'll be good. We'll be good. Now to put this on, I'm going to put more Tombow. This, I find Tombow is the best thing to use for this dye. And just some little dots on the rest of it. There we go. It is Carmen. I really like this stamp set. And I'm doing a stamp camp on August the 18th with my friend Wendy. And we had so much fun creating the projects. It was hard to stop ourselves from continuing on. I've got a little bit of glue showing, but after I'll go back with my glue eraser and take it off. Okay, so now you know where your flower or plant part is. So now I can add some adhesive underneath where the leaves are to hold it on. And then it won't show through when you put, because vellum is really hard to get adhesive on. There we go. All right. Now the genial gems. Let's put some of those on. Now I want to try something because I've been watching people online and they use the putty end of the take your pick tool to pick these up. So I want to try it. I have not done this. It's going to get the dry end off there so that there's some fresh stuff. I've not tried this, so I don't know whether it's going to work, but all they do is take it, put the putty and slide it. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. How easy is that? And then because you've used the putty part, when you, can you see? When you slide it, it picks it right up. Woo, new aha moment. And then that just gets the lid put back on. So now I'm going to have to get another take your pick tool because I like to keep my brush end on there because I use it a lot. So there's the card. That didn't take long. Holy macaroni. That was like 20 minutes and we're done. The inside is done. That's done. The envelope is done. And I do like it with those the double flowers on there or the double plant leaves. It kind of fills it in a little bit more. Good idea. Love it. Love, love, love. And I like the more subtle background too. It makes it stand out a little bit more. I hope you have enjoyed crafting with me today. Thanks, Carmen, and thanks so much for joining me. And if you're catching this on the replay, thank you for taking time out of your day. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon in my craft room. Stampin' Smiles, and bye.